Being part of the team that developed the resource hour at Tomahawk High School, there are really three goals that we were trying to get at from the start, and that's increasing accountability for students and teachers, increasing collaboration opportunities for students and teachers, and then increasing literacy opportunities. And I'll speak to the first two right now, but from an accountability standpoint, one of the things that the resource hour does, being the last half hour of the school day, it gives teachers the option to call individual students down to their classes and work with them one-on-one, especially students that might be struggling in certain areas, and or on the flip side, students that are maybe wanting to go above and beyond, and working with them and giving them opportunities as well. It also allows teachers to check up on the students in their homerooms, on their during the resource hour, on their grades, and that increases accountability as well. From a collaboration standpoint, the resource hour gives teachers as a department the opportunity to collaborate once every 2 weeks, or as they see fit, by sending their students to another resource hour and then being able to get together and talk and work on things. Those opportunities did not exist before the resource hour was created. It also gives students an opportunity to collaborate. Many times throughout the course of the year, I have students come in during my resource hour that I have in class that maybe want to work or discuss something as a group, and I can monitor them and ask them questions during that time as well. So from an accountability standpoint and a collaboration standpoint, the resource hour has really created some opportunities that didn't exist here before.
One very important thing that Resource Hour allows us to do is to check students' grades with them. We, once a week, take each student up to our desk, to our computer, where they log in to their what we call Skyward account, where they can check all of their grades in every class. They are able to see if they have missing assignments, and what their test scores are, and if we have students whose grades are not doing well, then we offer all other interventions. We're able to send those students to those teachers on passes so that they can get more individualized help. Grade checking has been very valuable. I think the students would tell you that it has helped their overall attitude towards school and being more responsible in checking to be sure that they're doing what they need to do.
I am Mrs. Gedke. We polled the teachers to find out what were the needs of the school district, and the three needs that they came up with several years ago were accountability, time to collaborate, and literacy. And so when we made Resource Hour, we wanted to take time during Resource Hour to deal with the issue of literacy. And we found that students seldom have time to choose what they want to read and to read for their own interest. And one of our goals was to create lifelong readers to find enjoyment in reading. So on Wednesdays, and every Wednesday, everyone in the building has a half hour during Resource Hour from 3 to 3:30 to choose whatever they want to read and to sit down and read. And that includes students and staff, teachers, and paraprofessionals. Everyone in the building reads, and everyone can choose what they want to read, and nothing interferes with that hour every week. We schedule no meetings or anything else because we consider it as a time for reading. We find out that reading is very important.
Okay, well, Honors Resource Hour is the resource hour offered to any student who, I guess, excels in schoolwork. They have to have at least a 3.5 or higher, and then also be one of the top, I'm blanking on the number, specific number of people who sign up. And Honors Resource Hour, because we are higher students, are given more freedom than other resource hours. For instance, I mean, we're allowed to come here and talk with friends a little more and do some extra stuff that in other resource hours we're not really allowed to do.
Tomahawk, Wisconsin lunchroom.
This is
It's beautiful.
the Honor Study Hall for Resource Hour.
Well, when we get in here at the end of the day, we sign our names on a sheet to basically say that we're here. If we have to go somewhere else, we just write down where we're going because we're basically trusted to do whatever we have to. We're not supervised in here except for right in the beginning of the hour when attendance is put on the computer. And essentially we just stay in here or go get help in what we need to, even though usually we're not the kind of students who need to go get too much. So we just do what's expected of us and get our work done.
Well, I like to be active, so I like to get out and move around. So it's just funner for me to be in here, and I get my homework done at home, so I don't have to do that during resource hour.
And can you tell us what the criteria is for you to be in the gym during resource hour instead of the regular classroom?
Well, I don't have any D. You have to not have any D's or F's, and I don't have any, so I can be in here.
And then how many extracurricular activities do you have to be involved in outside of school?
2.
2. All right, thank you so much.
All right.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Duncan. I'm the physical education teacher here at THS, and one of the opportunities we give our high school students is to be in resource hour activity time. They need to have no D's or F's on their current grades, and they have to be in at least 2 extracurricular activities outside of the school day. And if they meet those 2 criteria, they get to sign up in the gym every month. And we have a new rotation of kids, and they get to play, and they get to use that time instead of studying in a classroom. They get to use it as activity time in the gym.
Well, we started off with our resource hour was to accomplish numerous things to better the education of our students and the ability to allow our staff to do something. One was we had a period of time where we needed to have our staff work with students, and that was as an advisor for students, and where staff could spend time checking their grades, getting to know students, relationships, those different aspects. So we wanted to create a time other than we had a homeroom in the beginning of the day. So we wanted to create some time for that. Another was a time for our staff to collaborate, a time for our staff to get together and discuss curriculum, to discuss school activities. And they didn't have, in our previous schedule, we didn't have time during the day to meet with each other as a department or in other departments. So we needed to look at that. Another aspect is where our students could get extra help, where the teachers were available, where they could come in and get interventions, get academic help, get tutoring. And the last thing we wanted to accomplish is that we wanted to increase our literacy, our reading, with our students and trying to create some time during our school day for students to have the ability for recreational reading. So what we did is we created our resource hour at the end of the day. The resource hour is 29 minutes long. We have 8 class periods, and then we have the resource hour at the end of the day. Every teacher in our building has students, and we try keeping the numbers low. There are about 15 students to 1 teacher ratio. So teachers can meet with these 15 students, develop relationships, check their grades, become an advisor for them, do some good activities with these students. What we also have is teachers can give passes to students to come get academic help. If they're in their class during the day, they can get a pass to come get help during the resource hour. What also happens is once every 2 weeks, students or teachers can assign their resource hour students to another teacher, and that allows them to meet for collaboration time, for department meeting time, for teacher meeting time. So they have about a 45-minute period where teachers can meet and discuss curriculum or other school-related activities. And the last thing that we created during that time is every Wednesday is our individual recreational reading time. We call it our IRR time. And that's where everyone in the building reads. All students have to read, staff read, and we try focusing on is recreational reading, that they can read a school-appropriate material, or get away from the academics for a while and just reinforce the importance of reading and reading as a lifelong skill. So that's our resource hour. So we developed that, and that's the format of that, and we have now been with our resource hour for about 1.5 years and a lot of benefits with that.